I like to think of the 2010s as the wild west of the internet era. While the internet was established, the 2010s was really the ruling ground of social medias. Trends were born and on the rise. Things we found funny back then
What's 9 plus 10?
21?
aren't so funny now. We cringe at the latest internet trends. But we were walking around with loom bands screaming,
You free Shavakadu!
With the birth and the rise of social media, we were introduced to such bangers like Kik, Snapchat, and Vine. But the one that I have never, ever heard anyone talk about, which is by far the worst, a terrible, terrible idea created in the golden age of cyberbullying. Of course, I am talking about Ask FM. Ask FM was originally launched in Latvia in 2010, but no one heard about it until its merger and moved to Dublin in 2014. The concept was simple. You'd create a public profile, you'd wait for the bullies at your school to find that profile, and you'd sit there and you'd read through the anonymous questions that they'd left you. Usually, they would just be telling you how ugly you are. But that never happened to me. Ask FM's history is rough. In 2013, the Ask FM team was under heavy scrutiny for the side of a teenage girl who was the victim of cyberbullying through the platform. This led to the implementation of being able to block and report accounts, a feature you think they would have implemented on the launch of an app designed around anonymous questioning. Obviously, these new features weren't enough. 'Cause it gets worse. The very next year, 2014, there were reports of ISIS on the platform. Yeah, that ISIS. ISIS were apparently using this platform to recruit new members. Though their efforts only lasted a week before they were shut down and removed off the site, I find it funny imagining ISIS creating an Ask FM profile. After some quick research, it appears that Ask FM is actually still active and genuinely thriving. Why 30 million people still use this platform boggles my mind. So I'm going to put that one down as the 8th wonder of the world. Now obviously, being the guy that I am, seeing that the website was still active, I wanted to check if my old account from when I was 14 is still on there. And to my horror, it is. A relic. Almost a decade old, holding my most cringe moments in a little tightly wrapped Ask FM basket. I will show you guys. Where do you fall asleep besides your bed? And I replied, your bed. What things do you use every day? My right hand. Are you noticing a pattern yet? This was me trying to be deep. What is your definition of pure happiness? Most people say love, but love always ends, mate. Always will. Although that limited time will bring you happiness until it comes down in a devastating and brutal crash. That's when you feel like a butt cheek on a stick. Do you believe in love at first sight? Nah. You better walk past again. Dude, I was 14. I'd barely even had my first kiss at that point. Puberty? Question mark? 1 year difference. Thank God.
Oh my god! What is that?
I remember I used to suck in my cheeks like that to make it look like I had cheekbones. Dude, I was chubby as well. Favorite song? Nocturne Opus 9 number 2, Chopin. That is one of my favorite songs. Was it my favorite song at the time? No. I just didn't want to tell people that it was Dance With Me Tonight by Ollie Murs.
I just want you to dance with me tonight.
You're so dirty. So bad. Despite being cringe, my moments weren't too bad. And frankly, I didn't have enough content to make a long form video about it. So I dove straight into Reddit. This story I found is probably one of the worst Ask FM stories I've ever seen. In fact, it's probably one of the worst social media stories I've ever seen. The plot twists in this rival M. Night Shyamalan's best work. I had a blog for a while, and it suddenly became weirdly popular. My views went from a handful each post to thousands. Around this time, one particular asker caught my attention. He was called Jamie, about 17 years old, who read my blog and was going through some stuff. Depression, bullying, abuse from his girlfriend, family didn't seem to care, etc. We spoke often, and though I did my best to cheer him up, I made it clear I was just a teenager with a blog, and though I would listen, I could not do for him what a professional could. I urged him to go and get help for his depression and report his bullies. Just, are you holding on? Just wait, seriously, just wait. One day, I was on Ask, and something popped through from someone saying they were Jamie's cousin, and that he had confided in them about my blog and Ask. They went on to say that Jamie unalived himself. I was devastated. I know that sounds weird, but after talking to this guy for a while, I felt so emotional about it. I felt like I knew him. I asked Jamie's cousin to let me know if there was any news. For the next couple of years, I would think about Jamie sometimes. Over time, I realized something did not feel right. I was less naive now, more aware of things in the whole saga that didn't seem to make sense. I started wondering how it was possible for him to suddenly flatline after such improvements in his physical health. The whole cousin thing seemed really weird. I hadn't used Ask in ages, but stirred by this creeping sense of suspicion, I decided to log on and read through what remained of the Jamie conversations. I had deleted some out of respect for his family. And then I realized something. Jamie, his cousins, the weirdos, and even some of the seemingly normal, or boring but random ones, their manner of typing, the words they used, their rambling, intense, dramatic writing style, it was the exact same. They were the same person. I logged onto my blog, which I had also not updated for at least a year, and went to delete my Jamie post. That was when I realized someone had commented on it. I read the comment, and from the writing style, I had no doubt that this again was the same person. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was basically a rant about bullied people needing to toughen up and get a grip. Someone had then replied to it, again with a rant, denouncing the commenter as horrible, and yep, it was the same person again, bitterly arguing with themselves about the character they had created and killed off. I went back to Ask again, looking for clues to figure out who they were. I noticed a notification bubble on the question icon. Nervous, I clicked it. I shit you not, I immediately recognized it as them. Since they saw me active, for a while I had a couple of questions a day that could have been them, that I ignored. It seemed to have stopped now, but I'll always have a little sick feeling whenever I log on to check, and I'll always wonder who I can trust and who I can't. So, Jamie, Ask FM Catfish, whoever you are, let's not meet again. That is heavy. I've heard of stalkers. I've dealt with stalkers. That will be a story for another video one day maybe. But creating a fake character to get to know someone and then killing them off, where do you expect to go with that? I don't understand what his end goal was. Weird. And with that, Ask FM, a website that should never have been created and still shouldn't exist. I will always remember the memories, and I'll always remember the excitement of getting a message saying, "You're cute," or "Who do you have a crush on?" It's a terrible, terrible idea. And I am glad that social media has strayed far away from that anonymous shit. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe.